I have my little scorpion army over here. There's the big boy. Well, that's the big boy right there, but there's the big boy right there that we're reviewing. Hello everyone, welcome back, and I'm finally back, and as you can see, look at our lovely room. As you can see, I've relocated here, and my room looks a little bit different, and the lovely bookshelf is finally assembled. You can see all my guys over here. We're gonna be reviewing this guy. So I think I remember teasing in the last video that I would review this guy sooner than later, at least like once I moved in. So yes, we are going to be reviewing Scorponok, the other scorpion, as today's review here. Because like earlier we already reviewed another scorpion, right? So it's like, it feels like deja vu. I wasn't really sure who came first. Because you know, we have Scorponok, like we have this box right here, and then we have Double Punch's box right here. So it turns out that Scorponok came first, and then this is actually a redeco. So we're gonna be taking a look at this guy here. We're gonna see what he's all about, alright? Basically, his articulation is very similar to Double Punch, so it's pretty much going to be the same thing, but there might be a few differences, so I will kind of point out some of the differences in the articulation. It's kind of minor, but either way, his articulation is practically kind of the same thing. Strangely, his head doesn't rotate very well. Like, it does have some rotation, but for Scorponok, I can really barely move him from the left or right. His head does go all the way up due to his transformation, but otherwise, I do have some slight problems with the head rotation in contrast to Double Punch. His arms can only go this wide, and just like Double Punch, he can't do a T-pose because the literal shoulder blades are in the way. Yeah, the literal shoulder blades are in the way. His arms can twist, although it takes a while for like his arms to kind of twist because I noticed that they're kind of tight. His arms can bend, his hands can rotate, and they can also bend. His arms can go all the way around, very similar to Double Punch, but again, kind of watch out for the legs in the back. There's some slight rotation for the waist, but he really can't rotate all the way as far as I know. No ab crunch due to his transformation, and unlike Double Punch, I can barely get him to bow forward or bend backwards a little bit, so it's a little bit kind of weird. His legs can twist, and probably the biggest twist, no pun intended, his left leg actually can rotate, because that was actually a big problem I had with Double Punch. His legs can go back and forth, but keep in mind that his spiked knees can get in the way, so you might have to kind of adjust like his little knee pad so that you can make them go forward and back. His legs can bend, his feet can rotate, they can also bend, and unlike Double Punch, his foot doesn't come off very easily. His legs can go all the way this wide, and yes, he can do the splits, just like Double Punch. But yeah, that's kind of everything I need to kind of mention about his articulation, because it's practically the same thing like Double Punch, but let's see if he can pose really well in the photo shoots. Let's see if he can model just like Double Punch. So just like Double Punch, he has a tail. No surprise, he has a tail. But that's pretty much his major accessory that he has. He pretty much can equip the tail just like Double Punch, so you can basically just slot it in the little back here. And you can also slot the tail as a weapon, so you can basically convert the tail into a flail. And pretty much the tail is also articulated, so it definitely has a little more of a whip-like shape, so you can definitely curl it forward if you need to. Just for fun, just something that I actually did, but you actually can swap out Double Punch's tail and put it on this guy. That's the one thing I found really funny that you can do, is you can actually swap out Double Punch's tail and put it on Scorponok if you would like. It's kind of like with Novocaine and Freezer, like you could basically swap out their arms on each other. It's kind of minute, it's not like the biggest, like you probably won't notice the difference, but I just think it's just kind of funny that you can swap out the tails on both scorpions here, and pretty much you can actually have both the Double Punch and Scorponok wield each other's tails as a weapon if you like. Yeah, so they could basically dual wield the tails. Yeah, you can dual wield the tails on both scorpions if you would like. He really can't hold a lot of stuff because of how his hands are designed, but I did actually see if he can hold Novocaine and Freezer. And oddly, you can peg in the weapon, like you can basically peg in Novocaine or Freezer into the hole, but it looks a little janky, so I just kind of have him hold it out with his 2 hands basically. So yeah, it is possible for him to hold stuff. Also, Scorponok does also come with his own backdrop, just like Double Punch. He does look really mean and tough, and once you put him on that backdrop, like his red eyes really like pierce right through. It's kind of creepy, but I like it. I also did include Double Punch's backdrop to see how he looks on that backdrop, and honestly, he looks really great in both backdrops. Safe to say he's not really cute, but I do like it though. And so yeah, that basically kind of covers all the weapons and accessories that he has. So before I get into the transformation, I did want to talk about the booklets. I just realized that I didn't really show the instructions in the previous review on Double Punch. Yeah, this really does give me like shades of Novocaine and Freezer. Like, is it just me or do they look kind of identical? I mean, this one, the artwork looks a little bit more crisp, and then this one just feels a little bit kind of watered down a little bit. It's really hard to explain like how different the image quality looks. Even notice that the Predacon symbol is a little bit different on this one too. I would not be surprised if I just only use Double Punch's instructions and he still comes out the same. The booklets are pretty much identical. I'm not surprised that they're pretty much identical. Like, it just looks like a straight up copy basically. I don't know, you guys, do you think that seems kind of lazy, that it's just basically just a copy? I just think it's just kind of funny that the instructions are literally the same. So if you actually have Double Punch and you don't even have Scorponok's like instructions, you could literally use Double Punch's instructions and you'd still get the same result for Scorponok. Or you could just use YouTube. But either way though, I just think it's really interesting that Scorponok and Double Punch's instructions are practically identical. There's only just some slight text differences, especially with the name and with the logo. But it's just kind of something to kind of note, because I was just really curious to see if the instruction booklets were going to be the same, and safe to say they are definitely the same. Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and work on the transformation here. So would you like to kind of see how Scorponok turned out here? Whoa, I had a feeling this one would come out way better than Double Punch, which did kind of confirm that earlier the legs was definitely giving me a lot of problems with Double Punch. Yeah, the legs definitely came out way better on Scorponok compared to Double Punch. So here's Double Punch, and yeah, they are meant to be identical, but I definitely noticed there's some differences between what happened with the legs here, because you see from the underside it's like, I don't remember where did I saw the tabs on here. Yeah, so do you see these? You see this spot down here, right, where you're supposed to tab it in? This was the area that was tripping me up. When you rotate the leg, that was the one issue I was having. So it is supposed to tab in here, but you're supposed to rotate the leg. And because on this copy, I think it was this leg, that because it's so stiff that it breaks off, that's why the legs look so strange. I was kind of wondering like why the leg looked a little goofy for a second. Like now it looks a little bit goofy now that I'm trying to fix it, but it just doesn't want to go in because of how the leg piece is. So yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate that Double Punch is a bit of a downgrade, because this model of Scorponok, I mean, look at that. He looks pretty complete, and he doesn't look like he has any sort of problems at all. Even like just lowering these things down wasn't going to give me any sort of like any problems. So yeah, I mean, his transformation definitely came out way better than Double Punch's. And like I said, I still like Double Punch, but yeah, it's safe to say that I think I found where the quality assurance issues were on this guy, because it was the legs that was really tripping me up. Yeah, here is Scorponok in his fearsome transformation here. Don't blink, because you might miss him. You know, it's funny because like I like him, but I still have that soft spot for Double Punch, all right? I don't know if it's just because he's just not really cute. It's because he's not really cute. That's always the thing. You know that I always call all the Decepti-KHANs cute, but he's definitely not really cute, all right? So, but yeah, that's kind of why I like Double Punch, because Double Punch is definitely really cute. Yeah, like I said, like he's got really good articulation. He's really good quality. And again, if Double Punch had like this level of quality, I would definitely have ranked Double Punch way higher. And really, like the only major issue I had with Double Punch was just that stupid leg. And You know, in this copy, this leg actually rotates. This was the major issue I had on Double Punch. You know, I kind of wish that there were some things that they could have done a little bit differently, like some engineering differences, because I'm not sure if they could have did this a little bit better, because like especially when you start moving the legs and stuff, because the legs, once again, I have to pinch like the legs down here to move them. But every now and then, if you just try to move the legs, you heard that tapping, right? Like every time I try to move the legs a little bit, like the belly button area, yeah, the waist pops open. So yeah, it's kind of like one of the only little things I find that I don't like. You know, do you think that they could have maybe made these arms back here, like his scorpion legs, separate? I kind of wish that these were removable so that they're not in the way all the time. And then this way, then his arms can go all the way around, basically. Or even just like take this whole entire thing off. Like, I guess you could say it's like a backpack almost. Just take this entire thing off and make it a shield. Like, that'd be so awesome. Like, that'd be so awesome if they could make that into a shield. Kind of reminds me of like what I did with Nightbird. It wasn't Widow, it was Nightbird when I made her wield Ballatrap's like spike ball, and then it looked like a shield. I do think that it's kind of odd though that they don't actually transform. It's kind of like with Novocaine and Frieza, like they don't ever transform in the movie, so it is nice to see what they would have looked like if they did transform. I did enjoy the transformation, and I do also like how he looks in robot form, just like Double Punch. I guess to kind of conclude my thoughts with this guy, he looks menacing, he looks great. I do like the purple. He's got pretty good articulation, really good quality, and actually for once, like his arms and limbs and legs actually twist and rotate. The only thing I kind of wish that they may have done differently is just like, again, like there's all these really strange like tabbing issues like with the torso and even with his leg. There could have been some improvements to how they could have done this a little bit better. But I still think that he's a solid figure. And like I said, I still have a soft spot for Double Punch. I do think that both of my Scorpions look really great. And I think that you'll have a lot of fun having a pet Scorpion in your room. Yeah, if you need a pet Scorpion, Scorponok will do. So yeah, I guess I can see why Blacko really likes him. You're like, now you know why I think Blacko likes Scorponok, but still, I think he makes a really great desk buddy though. He makes an absolute great desk buddy. And again, I am trying to get used to my new room here, and if it's not kind of obvious, I'm recording this at night, so I am gonna have to test around like the lighting and where I want to sit when I do these late night recordings a little bit. But yeah, this basically concludes our adventure with Mr. Scorponok. I almost called you Double Punch for some reason. If you like this review, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new to my channel. And of course, I shall have Scorponok wave goodbye. I can't seem to make him wave on here, but I shall have him say wave goodbye here. And I shall see you on the next video, right? So, see ya.